all to this section on fluid mechanics and machinery. So today we are going to see certain topics in design this regarding these properties of fluid and also fluid statics. So this is very essential. We'll have to know about pressure, how it is affecting the regarding the fluid pressure, the atmospheric pressure. So this will be very important topic in the fluid mechanics. Next is actually already we have discussed what is a fluid, what is the distinction between a solid and a fluid, isn't it? And also now we are going to we have discussed the properties of fluids, density, specific weight, specific volume, specific gravity and all. So now we are going to see the applications of concept of fluid static pressures, absolute and gauge pressures in this session. So what is meant by what is meant by fluid pressure? So actually hydrostatic pressure is the pressure that is exerted by a fluid at equilibrium at a given point within the fluid due to force of gravity. Okay, so that is very essential. So this is actually the hydrostatic pressure. So it will be when equilibrium position, it will be exerting a pressure, and that will be the reason will be the force of gravity. So the hydrostatic law states that the intensity of pressure or the rate of increase of pressure in a vertical direction must be equal to the specific weight of fluid at that particular point. Okay, so this is a hydrostatic law. Normally we know very well. So pressure will be is equal to force by area. This would have known. So the unit of pressure will be Newton per meter square, or otherwise we can call it as a Pascal. So density is equal to mass divided by volume. Now you consider a three-dimensional object of height h. Okay, so volume and A will be the cross-sectional area. So volume will be is equal to height into area. So now what happens? The static pressure will not depend on the shape, total mass or surface area of the liquid. Okay, it's not dependent. Static pressure will not be depending on the shape, total mass or surface area of the liquid. Next one, you please see, I have given you the diagram which has nearly 4 containers. Okay, the containers all are differently shaped. The shape is actually cylindrical. You take it as another one, it is a square prism. Okay, and this is a thin cylinder, and this is a different shaped model. So what happens actually, they are having the same height of fluid related to the base. You are measuring the pressure at a height of 1 inch above the base. You can see that the diameters are entirely different and the shapes are also entirely different. But when you are measuring the pressure at a height of 1 inch above the base, there will be no difference in the pressure. Okay, so that is, it is not dependent on the area. So that we can see that in the same depth, the same pressure is being seen. See, you just see pressure variation in a fluid at rest. I have demonstrated you with the help of a diagram. So you can see this. I am having a diagram. In that, the low pressure area is actually the depth will be, you can see at the height it is a low pressure area, and this you do have a high pressure area. So what happens in the low pressure area, what is happens, you can write the tableau, you can see that we are having a arrow mark, the pressure increasing with depth. Okay, so that what happens, and you can see that from the top you will have a weakest jet, and at the bottom you will be having as a strongest jet. Okay, and what are the types of pressures? So what are the types of pressures? We do have actually, you can have gauge pressure. Next one is your vacuum pressure, that's a negative gauge pressure, and your atmospheric pressure and absolute pressure. Okay, so what it is actually, see, I will just say you, normally this pressure we call it as your gauge pressure. Is what it is, the difference between absolute pressure will be used in research and science labs only. Fluctuating atmospheric pressure can become as an issue. Okay, and aeronautics also you will use this absolute pressure because you will require this measurement should be very critical. So is there any difference between this absolute pressure and gauge pressure? Actually, what is meant by gauge pressure? In a gauge pressure, actually, it will be difference. It is always the difference from the current ambient pressure that is measured. Okay, and it will be changing with the weather and the height above the sea level. What will be then absolute pressure? Actually, this absolute pressure measurement will be measuring the difference from the ideal or absolute vacuum. So that is very essential. Okay, so absolute pressure will be measured from the vacuum, and you can see from the slide that the atmospheric pressure is normally 101.325 kilopascal. Okay, so absolute pressure, how it will be? The gauge pressure plus the atmospheric pressure, right? Okay, or otherwise it is can be an atmospheric pressure. If it is more than atmospheric pressure, it can be minus, vacuum pressure, it will be at vacuum, isn't it? So from 0 level we are measuring. So this absolute pressure will be either atmospheric pressure minus vacuum pressure, or it will be a gauge pressure plus atmospheric pressure. You can see that. Okay, you can see the diagram. So please see the diagram here. You can see P gauge is equal to P total minus P atmospheric pressure. Okay, next one we have absolute pressure, the total, and the downward, the bottom you do have a vacuum pressure. Okay, and this you have atmospheric pressure, and this will be a gauge pressure, will be measured from the atmospheric pressure. So this will be a pressure system. In this here also you can see that the vacuum pressure it will be equal to 0, and this atmospheric pressure is being measured. So what is meant by then total pressure? So total pressure will be the summation of atmospheric pressure and the fluid pressure. So normally the atmospheric pressure on the surface of earth will be remaining as constant. Okay, so normally we take it as 1.01 into 10 to the power 5 pascal. Right, now actually you can see that what it is actually, a person is holding this weight, okay, isn't it? This water, and you have a cardboard and you are weighing it. So you can see that the force cast by the atmospheric pressure acts on the surface of the cardboard. It will be greater than the weight of the water in the glass. Okay, that you can see that. Next one. So this is actually how I am seeing this, how we are measuring this atmospheric pressure. Okay, you can see that in the dish, this level, this indicating this atmospheric pressure. Okay, and this will be the topmost will be a vacuum. So this mercury level, this height of mercury level, you are getting it as 76 centimeter. And you can see that this normally you have bar is used for measuring. Okay, so the 1 bar will be equal to 101.325, or 1 tar is equal to 1 mm of mercury column. So you can see that this millimeter left side is given in millibars, pressure in millibars, and others in feet. You can see that the pressure will be going on reducing as the altitude is increasing. Okay, that you can see. And next one liquid pressure, right? So the liquid pressure, the pressure on the earth varies as a function of height. You can see that here. How is your atmosphere? It is how it is. When your ears pop, it means you are adjusting to. You can see that when your atmosphere is varying, you can just sense your ear popping. The sense we are adjusting to a new pressure, and the pressure of the earth's atmosphere at sea level is actually 1 lakh pascal. So this actually just I have demonstrated how it is. At the depth of 100 meter we have it as 1 megapascal. At 500 meter we have 5 megapascal. Like this, when the depth is going on increasing, you can see that what happens here. You will have your pressure will be increased. Okay. Thank you all for listening, and we shall continue in the next section. Thank you all once again.